Now, in a clear sign of normalization between Ankara and Damascus in the decade-long Syrian war, defense ministers of Russia, Turkiye and Syria held a meeting in Moscow. The talks were the first ministerial-level meeting between Turkiye and Syria since the start of the Syrian conflict 11 years ago. Turkiye said its defense minister met with his Syrian counterpart, Ali Mahmoud Abbas, along with Russia's defense minister, Sergei Shoigu. A Turkish Defense Ministry statement also said the Turkish, Syrian and Russian intelligence chiefs attended the talks in Moscow, which took place in a positive atmosphere. The discussion focused on the Syrian crisis, refugee problem and efforts for a joint struggle against terror organizations present on Syrian territory. Turkey said the three nations would continue to hold trilateral meetings. Now, Russia has long been pressing for a reconciliation between Turkey and the Syrian government. Russia and Turkey are both involved in Syria, with Moscow supporting the Damascus regime against its opponents and Ankara backing rebels. The meeting came amid repeated threats by Turkish President Erdogan to launch a military offensive in northern Syria against the Kurdish groups. Now, for more on this, joining us live from New Delhi is security analyst Nitin Gokhale. Welcome to WION, Nitin.
Thank you very much.
Nitin, first time in 11 years this is happening. Was it just Russia that got the two sides on the same table, or are Syria and Turkey finally ready to iron out the differences?
I think all sides realize that this conflict has been debilitating and futile in many ways. And there have been signs that Russia will lead the initiative to try and exercise some kind of a reconciliation between the two warring sides, which has now finally happened. Remember, for the last 10 months, Russia is also involved in Ukraine, which probably diverted the attention of Moscow. But finally, this meeting seems to have come off. And it's significant that not only the army chiefs or the defense ministers met, but also the intelligence chiefs also had a meeting of all the three countries, which is significant because both in Turkey as well as in Syria, the intelligence agencies play a very big part. And there have been some back-channel talks, some indirect talks between the two. But this is the first formal meeting, as you just said, after 11 years after the conflict started. So I think it's a good sign.
So what's in it for Russia? Now, why is Moscow intervening here? Of course, Turkey has been launching an offensive against Syria since a while, but now suddenly, is there something more to it?
Well, as I said, Russia doesn't want to get distracted from its effort in Ukraine. And they have been supporting Syria, as all of us are aware, for almost 7-8 years now,
right.
in Syria, supporting the Syrian regime. Now that diverts and divides Russian resources. So clearly Russia wants to get over that conflict, which is going nowhere in terms of outcomes, one way or the other. So I think the Russian effort is to try and close this chapter and then concentrate on what they have to do in Ukraine and the way the Ukraine conflict is panning out. Russia needs all possible resources, attention that they can pay to that front. And that's why I think Russia has taken this initiative between Syria and Turkey.
Right. So essentially, Russia does not want to divide its resources, wants to contain it from Syria and focus completely on Ukraine because that conflict seems to be going on. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining in, sir. And we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you.